Good evening. We begin tonight with a brazen daylight shooting in the Overbrook neighborhood. One man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries, and police say they have one suspect in custody. This happened in the 300 block of Prince Albert Street, where gunfire rang out at around 1:10 this afternoon. Police say there is no threat to public safety with that one person in custody, but one man was found with critical injuries, according to paramedics. First responders worked to stabilize him at the scene before he was taken to hospital, and some of the debris from those life-saving efforts remained on the scene for several hours today. Again, all of this happening in broad daylight, leaving witnesses stunned.
It's kind of scary, especially happening so close to home. We heard a pop and we came out to see what was happening, and there's a gentleman just laying on the floor, and unfortunately, yeah. Police responded pretty quickly, and it's just kind of scary.
Just shocked, to be honest. Like, just pulled up for do a job, and don't see this every day.
Ottawa police say the Guns and Gangs unit is now leading the investigation. A transit hub in the heart of the city at the center of frequent safety concerns is set to get a makeover. OC Transpo planning a series of improvements for the Rideau LRT station, including a new special constable's office. Here's CTV's Katelyn Wilson.
For thousands of transit users, Rideau Station is part of their daily commute. But for some, like Haley Gloss, safety is an ongoing concern.
It doesn't feel very safe at all, like, especially being like a young woman. Like, it's very much like you have to keep your eyes out for everything. And it's just not the experience you want to have when you're trying to just commute like to your daily life.
She says homelessness, drug use and overdoses have become more frequent. And she's not the only rider with concerns.
The cleanliness, like sometimes you walk down there and there's like spit all over the floor, which is not enjoyable.
I tend to avoid because it's very, the layout isn't the greatest, and it tends to be difficult to navigate.
Now, OC Transpo is planning a makeover of the downtown transit hub, including new signage, changes to security cameras, and a dedicated office for OC Transpo special constables.
It's about having more visibility and more presence so that people are seeing staff more regularly. They have someone to go to directly on site if there's an issue.
The new office comes as OC Transpo expands its visible security presence across the system. In recent weeks, the transit agency launched a community visibility team made up of 5 special constables and a sergeant patrolling by foot, bike, and transit. And after washrooms were closed for several weeks because of vandalism and safety concerns, the city is looking at installing blue lights, which would make it more difficult for drug users to find veins.
Since about 2020, the security concerns are getting more and more severe, and we want, people to take public transit. We want ridership to increase, so we have to put things in place to make sure that people feel safe using our public transit.
For riders like Gloss, those changes can't come soon enough.
Even just like slowly increasing like a presence of security, it gives people a peace of mind too.
Katelyn Wilson, CTV News.
It was a scorcher here in the capital today. Really warm, and more warm weather on the way. Jackie Perez is back for our first check on the weather forecast. Jackie.
Well, we're in for another warm day in the capital. Yes, today we did see 20+ degree weather. We are likely get into 30s for tomorrow. Clear skies also in the forecast. No precipitation in sight. A closer look at the temperatures. Yes, we're kicking things off at 15 degrees. By 4 p.m., though, we are anticipating 30 degrees. Lots of sunshine as well in store. That will carry us to Friday, but with this comes a lack of sunshine, perhaps more clouds, and the weekend could see some precipitation moving through. We'll have those details and more in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. And this stretch of summer-like weather is probably making many people want to take a dip in a pool. Or what about the Ottawa River? Well, soon that will be possible. The National Capital Commission is set to open 2 new public swimming docks. One will be in Gatineau along the shore near the Canadian Museum of History. The other right across the river on the Ottawa side at the East Wharf, just steps from the base of the downtown Rideau Canal locks. CTV's Tyler Fleming has the details.
Along the shores of the Ottawa River at the Museum of History in Gatineau, there is a park.
I like it's quiet, a nice view.
Overlooking Parliament, for Andre Ciliano, it's a little slice of cottage life in the heart of the nation's capital. Now, by Canada Day, a big floating dock will be installed. complete with chairs and a marked-off swimming zone for anyone looking to relax, catch some rays, or...
When I walk or bike, I can have a dip.
The National Capital Commission is expanding swimming access around the region, and this will be the location of one of the 2 new docks. The other right across the river at the East Wharf, just steps from the Rideau Canal locks in downtown Ottawa.
Yeah, I live in the market.
Colin Churcher enjoys his strolls along here and is excited for the new swim hole and rest area. This one set to open mid-June.
It's easily accessible by both bike and walking. As I say, I'm getting on there. I'm in my 80s now, but I can still get down here, and it's fun.
The new docks build on 2 other popular spots, the NCC River House and Dow's Lake.
Last summer when Dow's Lake opened, I was one of the first to jump in and give it a try. No dock here, but I will dip my toes. Yeah, that's nice. It's refreshing.
Swimming at all locations will be unsupervised, but life jacket rentals will be available at some docks.
It's important to recognize that not everybody has a backyard or a balcony, and people want outdoor space and places to go to. So we're creating that opportunity.
The NCC says the waterfront getaways are giving people a new way to connect with nature and the region's waterways. And for Lauren Newell, the idea has already made a splash.
I don't have a car, so it's really hard to get out to Gatineau Park, so this is the next best thing.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
A warning tonight from Ottawa Police about a high-risk offender with a history of violent stranger sexual assaults now living in Ottawa. 46-year-old Christopher Rolston is serving an intermittent life sentence for 3 counts of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. The incidents occurred in Toronto in 2002. He's serving the remainder of his sentence on day parole in this city. Police say he poses a significant risk to public safety, particularly to women. He's living in a community-based facility under structured supervision. And a former pastor in Ottawa is facing charges in connection with an historic sexual assault investigation involving minors. 64-year-old James Andrew Evans was arrested this week and charged with multiple offenses, including 2 counts of sexual assault with a weapon, 3 counts of sexual assault, and 3 counts of sexual exploitation. Evans, also known as Pastor James or Dr. James Evans, served as pastor at the Chinese Christian Church of Ottawa from 2001 to 2005. Prior to that, he served as a pastor in Toronto. Police did not say when the alleged offenses happened, but investigators are concerned there may be more victims, and anyone with information is asked to contact Ottawa Police. And police are investigating after a man with stab wounds boarded a bus in Lower Town this morning. Emergency crews were called to Rideau Street near Friel Street just before 11 o'clock. Paramedics say the man was suffering from serious but non-life-threatening injuries. He was brought to hospital, and there's no word on any suspects or arrests at this time. Well, as the PWHL expands, the Ottawa Charge will lose some roster players before the puck drops next season, but not these 3 players. Defender Rania Savalainen, goaltender Gwyneth Phillips, and Ottawa native Rebecca Leslie will be protected from the expansion process. The team making the announcement this evening. Existing teams can lose a maximum of 4 players signed to their roster this past season during the initial expansion signing period, as 4 new teams are added to the league for next year. Well, turning now to some delicious eats, all while supporting a good cause tonight.
Everyone having a good time? No, I can't hear you. Is everyone having a good time so far?
That's CTV's Stefan Keys, serving as the MC for tonight's Taste for Hope in support of the Shepherds of Good Hope. Mouth-watering creations from Ottawa's top chefs with funds supporting the charity. And tonight's event raised nearly $380,000.
Our parents basically pay fees for the kids to play, so theoretically you have the taxpayers paying for the porta potty that I think the city should provide.
When we come back, why a local baseball team is covering the cost of an accessible porta potty, one they believe the city should be paying for. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is still warm out there, 18 degrees. A local baseball team says they're stepping up to the plate to cover the cost of a basic necessity. The team has been paying for an accessible porta potty, one they believe the city should be paying for, not them. Paul Villeneuve of the Ottawa Patriots baseball team says the Blackburn Hamlet Park, where they play, is busy throughout the season, but the only washroom there is a porta potty they pay for. Tovett Park has 3 baseball diamonds and 2 soccer pitches. The baseball team has been paying for a porta potty for the better part of a decade. And Villeneuve says last year the city covered the cost, but has not opted to pay for it this year because of low usage. That leaves the team footing the bill of about $350 a month for their season.
And our parents basically pay fees for the kids to play, so theoretically you have the taxpayers paying for the porta potty that I think the city should provide.
Last year, City Council passed a motion securing citywide funding to extend hours at existing bathrooms in parks and rec facilities or to install porta potties. But area councillor Laura Dudas says there's not enough money to install one at every park. She says city data and local partnerships help determine the best places for them to go, so they will serve the most people.
The city is slowly making progress in terms of rolling out these portable facilities. And as councillors, what we do is we look at the limited money that we have available to us, and we try to get the most, user groups involved in partnering with us to get the most bang for our buck.
Each ward gets about $4,500 in funding, which is enough to cover the operating costs of around 3 porta potties a year. Dudas also says while the city would love to have a publicly funded washroom at every park across the city, there is no plan for that at this time. Very warm day. That's the story of today as well. Almost getting up to 30 degrees, and we have some more warm weather in store as we take a full look at the weather forecast. Jackie.
All right, temperatures for this overnight getting down to about 15 degrees, or I should say 12. It's cooled down quite a bit. A few clouds as well, but tomorrow, not much of a difference when we start things off. 15 degrees for the morning, 31 degrees, the anticipated daytime high. We are anticipating a mix of sun and cloud that will be later on in the afternoon to early evening. Meanwhile, lows across eastern Ontario will be hovering around the low teens, so about 10 degrees in Pembroke, 12 in Ottawa, Cornwall, and Brockville. Slightly cooler along Bancroft at 5 degrees, but you can see for the most part we are anticipating few clouds in the sky. Tomorrow, though, lots of orange, lots of yellow. We are still continuing that warm trend, the heat getting up to about 31 here in the capital, 30 along Brockville, 29 in Pembroke, as well as in Bancroft. Montreal also seeing temperatures around the 30-degree mark. However, for Friday, there is a chance that we could perhaps see some isolated showers in parts of the region. So around 2 p.m., there is a chance that we could see some scattered showers moving through Ottawa, maybe in parts of Maniwaki as well. But it's still early, so we are keeping a close eye on this for our Friday. So far, though, the forecast for that day is going to be 28 degrees and cloudy skies. Not until Saturday and Sunday, though, the likeliness of precipitation is much stronger. Again, keeping a close eye on this, we can see the trend really sticking around the mid-20s for the rest of this week.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, councillors are directing city staff to table a draft renovations bylaw, despite staff saying Ottawa does not need one. Currently, evictions related to renovations or repairs are regulated under the province's Residential Tenancies Act, which was recently amended to enhance protections for tenants. Still, councillors believe a municipal bylaw could fill gaps left in the provincial law, and today voted to direct staff to table a draft bylaw which would require landlords secure a building permit for renovations before an eviction notice is issued to tenants.
Numerous jurisdictions, including Hamilton, Toronto, London, have developed bylaws that are complementary with provincial law that basically say we want you to take this step first to ensure that you actually need vacant possession. If you're going to kick someone out of their home, you really need a good justification. You just need to show your permit, which frankly, if you're doing significant renovations, you'd have to do anyway.
The draft bylaw is set to be tabled July 8th when councillors will decide if there is too much overlap with the Residential Tenancies Act. Well, a candidate running for mayor says he has a plan to bring fiscal transparency back to City Hall.
As mayor, I will bring forward a new era of responsible city spending.
Neil Saramanavotu is the first candidate to release his fiscal policy. He says the city needs to think carefully about every dollar it spends so it can afford important services and infrastructure in the future. He says he would avoid taking on expensive projects that could create bigger financial problems later on.
Opening the books, challenging every expense, ending the sweetheart deals, reducing our reliance on high-cost growth, and fighting for a better deal for all cities. That's my 5-point fiscal plan to create a new era of responsible city spending.
Sarah Vanamutu would not say what he would set the tax rate at, adding, we need to understand the true state of the city's finances first. Other candidates include incumbent Mark Sutcliffe, City Councillor Jeff Leeper, and home builder Alex Lawson. Well, 11 people are facing charges after an undercover operation targeting demand for underage sex work here in Ottawa. Officers posing as underage individuals were engaging with people online, attempting to arrange sexual services. A total of 26 charges were laid. However, the suspects' names have not been released. And Ottawa police are asking for the public's help identifying a man who allegedly stole a delivery truck earlier this year. The vehicle was parked in front of a home on Homestead Street in the Fisher-Glen neighbourhood just after 11 a.m. on February 19th. Police say the suspect stole the truck and then used the driver's credit and debit cards to make unauthorized purchases. He was wearing a black hoodie, dark pants, and black and white sneakers. It's bike night in Smiths Falls, the first event of the season. It is back. CTV's Sean Varden has a recap right after the break. Gas prices are once again spiking here in Ottawa and right across the country as the conflict in the Middle East continues. Prices in Ottawa were up around 8 cents a litre today, bringing the price at some stations to around 174.9 cents a litre for regular gas. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTagg says price fluctuations are expected to continue throughout the summer, with the Strait of Hormuz still blocked.
Not only have we seen a lot of vessels not be able to get through that choke point around the world, we are draining strategic reserves, emergency reserves to levels that we haven't seen in a long time. It's going to take a long time for that to be replenished under law.
Now, prices could increase another 2 to 3 cents a litre here in Ottawa tomorrow. Well, a special monthly event is back in Smiths Falls after a successful start to the initiative last summer. The community and local businesses are excited to welcome back Bike Days. CTV's Sean Varden has that story.
For Don Hopkins, riding is better than therapy. His 47 Harley-Davidson, paradise.
I'm 74 years old, and I have several motorcycles, and I can be having the worst day, and I get on a bike and roll through the gears, and all these years, it still puts a smile on my face.
Wednesday in Smiths Falls, Bike Night offering a chance to connect and share with others who love motorcycles and celebrating community. It's the first Wednesday of the month from June to September, the town closing down 18 blocks. Beckwith Street packed with every type of bike imaginable, welcoming thousands for an evening of fun.
It's a wild night of live music, motorcycles, and community. People come from Kitchener. We've had people come from Sarnia, Quebec. It's 3 to 5 hours away. We have Prince Edward County coming tonight. So they're all over the place, and they're great supporters.
2025 was the first year this monthly summer event came to town. Organizers thought 300 bikes would come. Over 1,000 showed up.
It's just such an opportunity for the community to shine, to bring people in, to show people are beautiful downtown, give them an opportunity to try out our restaurants and check out some of the shops.
Local businesses are thrilled with the boost to their bottom line, bringing crowds downtown, helping some who are struggling to make ends meet.
These people come out and they support our businesses. They're here for hours. I know my sales increase. We're struggling and they're supporting.
It's fantastic for the town. It's something that's been needed for a long time. It's bringing tons of business into the area and everybody's enjoying it.
For Hopkins, events like this show the true side of the biking community. People coming together for the love of bikes and the road, there to look out for each other and the communities they call home.
We go where there's motorcycles. It's fun. That's good people.
The next Smiths Falls Bike Night is July 1st, Canada Day. Sean Varden, CTV News.
Still ahead, how best to protect your pets from fleas. CTV's Pat Foran will share all you need to know to keep your four-legged friends flea-free this summer after the break. Ontario's major education unions have served the Ford government with a notice to meet at the bargaining table. The formal legal notice means bargaining in the education sector will have to get underway within 15 days. There are several unions involved, including those representing Ontario elementary and secondary teachers. Collective agreements expire on August 31st. Well, it is something no pet owner wants to happen. You notice your dog or cat constantly scratching themselves, and then you find out they have fleas. Flea bites are annoying for pets, and all that scratching can lead to other health problems. But there are some ways to keep those fleas at bay, and CTV's Pat Foran has those details.
Fleas may be tiny, but they can create major problems for your pet.
Once the flea is on them, they start to chew on them, and they can actually cause what's called a hypersensitivity reaction or an allergic reaction to the saliva of the flea.
And once fleas get on your pet, it doesn't take long for them to spread throughout your home.
They'll hide in floorboards or in your carpet,
making it hard to get rid of them. So if you're dealing with fleas, Consumer Reports says it's important to act fast.
Start with your pet. Give them a bath using a mild dish soap, something like a Dawn or whatever you may have, and this will actually drown the fleas. Then you can follow up with a metal flea comb to remove any fleas that might remain in the coat.
Next, focus on your home. Vacuum carpets and furniture daily, and wash pet bedding in hot water to help destroy flea eggs and larvae. And don't forget about your yard.
Fleas love humid, shady, grassy areas, so keeping your grass short and keeping the bushes trimmed will make your yard less inviting for them.
Of course, the best way to deal with fleas is to prevent them in the first place. Your veterinarian can recommend a flea and tick treatment that's appropriate for your pet's age and size, whether that's a topical treatment or oral medication. Researchers say it's best to avoid flea collars. Some contain chemicals linked to concerning health risks for pets and even people. Following these steps can help your pet stay flea-free and keep from scratching this summer. Pat Foran, CTV News.
There she is. Welcome, Sandra Kearney.
Still ahead, an Ottawa resident is now $20,000 richer after winning a CTV Your Morning contest.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Take your weekend path. We've got the Broncos Sport for it.
One last live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam for the night. It remains 18 degrees. So pretty warm for this time of night, and going to be even hotter for tomorrow. Going to want to slap on some sunscreen and get the shorts ready. Jackie.
All right, tomorrow morning, 15 degrees to start things off. You could probably leave the jacket at home because, yes, things are warming up to 31 degrees. A mix of sun and cloud, but for the most part, mainly sunny skies. Friday, though, we will be lacking that sunshine and missing it to cloudy skies in the forecast. 28 to the anticipated daytime high. Things will slightly cool for our weekend. 25, 26 degrees is what is anticipated with a chance of precipitation. But the time we get to the early part of next week, temperatures are going to start to rise by Tuesday, Wednesday, the return of 31 and 32 degrees.
Thank you, Jackie. And finally for us tonight, an exciting announcement today on CTV Your Morning Ottawa.
There she is. Welcome, Sandra Kearney.
Rolling out the red carpet and everything, that is Ottawa resident Sandra Kearney, and she is The winner of your morning's 20K Pay Your Bills contest, sponsored by Bean Cars, Sandra is retiring in 1 month, and she showed up to our Byward Market Studios bright and early this morning to collect her prize. Congratulations to Sandra. That's incredible. And talk about the timing as well. Just 1 month before she retires. Incredible stuff. Sandra, don't spend it all in one place. Good night, everybody.